Hello, this is Mark Sheffield. Welcome to my channel, The Literary Professor. My many years of experience in the teaching of writing and literature will help you achieve a much higher level of skill in every element of great writing. In this episode, we'll look at a clever piece of sarcasm published by the National Council of Teachers of English, or NCTE. The title is a mouthful. My anti-5-paragraph essay, 5-paragraph essay. It was published on September 10, 2016. There's a link in the description. The author, English teacher Kim Zarin, created a clever parody of the 5-paragraph essay. She demonstrates all the weaknesses of the form, but uses the form to do it. Zarin begins her opening paragraph in classic 5-paragraph style. Listen to what she does. From the dawn of time, or at least the dawn of the modern high school, the 5-paragraph essay has been utilized in high school classrooms. Despite this long tradition, the 5-paragraph essay is fatally flawed. It cheapens a student's thesis, essay flow and structure, and voice. Well, there's the opening paragraph. Note the vague worldwide generalization in the first sentence and the thesis as outline of what's coming. We know from the first sentence that this is a 5-paragraph essay. You as a writer don't want to ever signal this to your audience, except if your audience is your teacher. Let's look at the first body paragraph. First, the 5-paragraph essay constricts an argument beyond usefulness or interest. In principle, it reminds one of the 3-partitioned dinner plate. The primary virtue of such dinner plates is that they are conveniently discarded after only one use, much like the essays themselves. The secondary virtue is to keep different foods from touching each other, like the 3-body paragraphs. However, when eating from a partitioned plate, a diner might have a bite of burger, then a spoonful of baked beans, then back to the burger, and then the macaroni salad. The palate satisfies its complex needs for texture, taste, choice, and proportion. Not so for the consumers of the 5-paragraph essay, who must move through point 1, then point 2, then point 3. No exceptions. It is arbitrary force-feeding to the point of indigestion. After the body paragraphs, and if readers have not already expired, they may read the conclusion, which is actually a summary of the introduction. There is no sense of building one's argument or of proportion. Wow, wonderful analogy, Ms. Zarin. Notice that the first body paragraph uses one of the more ragged and lazy transitions, the word first. This word can mean any number of things. First as simply the first words out of the writer's mouth, or first as the most important. You can see that this sort of flimsy organizational style is continued in the next body paragraph with the word second. Is there a logical reason for this second body paragraph to appear in the second place? No, not remotely. Okay, let's look at the second body paragraph. Second, critical thinking skills and the organization of the essay's flow are impaired when a form must be plugged and filled with rows of stunted seeds that will never germinate. If we return to the partitioned plate analogy, foods are separated, but in food, there is a play in blending flavors, pairing them so that the sum is greater than the individual parts. Also, there is typically dessert. Most people like dessert and anticipate it eagerly. In the 5-paragraph essay, there is no anticipation, only homogeneity, tedium, and death. Each bite is not food for thought, but another dose of the same. It is like Ms. Trunchbull in the Roald Dahl novel, forcing the little boy to eat chocolate cake until he burst, with the exception that no one on this planet would mistake the 5-paragraph essay for chocolate cake. I only reference the scene's reluctant, miserable consumption past all joy or desire. Well, there you go. Ms. Zarin is right on again. The 5-paragraph essay creates no sense of anticipation, or as I express it, no sense of plot. nobody really wants to read this essay. The teacher has to, but nobody else does or ever will. I would guess that you're not surprised at the transition word for the third body paragraph. It's the very inventive word third. Wow. You know, I like lists for the grocery store and my to-do chores. Other than that, any writer's use of numbered paragraphs had better be rare and absolutely necessary. So here we go. Third, the 5-paragraph form flattens a writer's voice more than a bully's fist flattens an otherwise perky, lovable face. Even the most gifted writer cannot sound witty in a 5-paragraph essay, which makes one wonder why experts assign novice writers this task. High school students suffer to learn this form, only to be sternly reprimanded by some college professors who insist that writers actually say something. Confidence is shattered, and students can't articulate a position, having only the training of the 5-paragraph essay dulling their critical reasoning skills. Moreover, unlike Midas, whose touch turns everything to gold, everything the 5-paragraph essay touches turns to lead. A 5-paragraph essay is like a string of beads with no differentiation, such as a factory, rather than an individual, might produce. No matter how wondrous the material, the writer of a 5-paragraph essay will sound reductive, dry, and unimaginative. Reading over their own work, these writers will wonder why they ever bothered with the written word to begin with, when they sound so inhuman. A writer's voice is not slotted into bins of 7 to 8 sentences apiece. A human voice meanders, but meaning guides the meandering. Voice leans and wins and backtracks. It does not scoop blobs of foodstuff in endless rows. If Oliver Twist were confronted with such blobs of written porridge, he would not ask for more. Wow, there you go, the third body paragraph. I really enjoy what Ms. Zarin has done. She asserts with good reason that the 5-paragraph essay style destroys charm and wit. One can't really be a good writer with the form. I agree with her on this, except in this sense. She herself has been witty in using the 5-paragraph form to demean it. Good job. Now for the coup de grace. The last paragraph, which is, remember, the very last paragraph, is introduced by the grand expression, in conclusion. Conclusions are great to arrive at, but in the real world, writers have to earn the right to stop writing. Readers won't accept a closing that isn't a true last thought. Just because a writer calls the last paragraph a conclusion doesn't mean it is, and the following conclusion is not a final thought. Here we go. In conclusion, the 5-paragraph essay is an effective way to remove all color and joy from this earth. It would be better to eat a flavorless dinner from a partitioned plate than to read or write a 5-paragraph essay. It would be better to cut one's toenails, because at least the repetitive task of clipping toenails results in feet more comfortably suited to sneakers, allowing for greater movement in this world. The 5-paragraph essay, by contrast, cuts all mirth and merit and motion from ideas until there is nothing to stand upon at all, leaving reader and writer alike flat on their faces. Such an essay form is the very 3-partition tombstone of human reason and imagination. Well, there you go. This last paragraph illustrates the one true horror of the 5-paragraph form. A conclusion like this is completely useless. Not one new idea is added to the essay. It is a mere repetition of the main points of the essay. You may not see exactly the same words being used, but synonyms and other expressions take their place. Great writers avoid unnecessary repetition. Instead, they keep writing right to the very last word. Every word counts, and so should yours. If you are a prisoner of the 5-paragraph essay style, try to break those chains. You have to be free to be great.